Good morning, everyone. And as we begin a new year, I think it's really appropriate to just understand the playing field that we're on. Avini has given us an amazing game. Nobody has to lose. We're not on an opposing team, or well, I guess we are. Big pharma
Hmm.
or whatever. I just feel we have a better way. And there's all these other things that have their place, but I just love what we have to offer people. I believe a better way, and we can really, everybody wins on this. But having the rules and knowing what's available, that's our purpose today. We've got this amazing website. Here we are, a brand new company, but you wouldn't know it if you got onto our website. It looks like a company that's been around a long time. If you look at maybe some of the other companies that have been around maybe 10, 20, even 30 years, look at their website. Ours is very impressive out there, and it's got a lot of useful tools, but if you don't know about those tools, you might not be using them. And so I've got my son-in-law, the amazing Chris Bruce. He has all of that stuff in his head. Also, Nikki Walton, several of us have been working with her because she is an amazing lady to just get things done. She's not a distributor, but she really helps the distributors. And so I've been having her work for me, and she's been doing a lot of things on the side too. And in fact, she's prepared a PowerPoint. So turn the time over. Do you want to kick this off, Nikki, with your slides? And Chris and I will comment as well.
We are going to go over some things to do with the back office, the app, social media tips, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll have an idea of what you need to learn or what you already know, and then how to get a hold of me if you need extra help. So for me, I have been working with Dave Gilday, Dave Johnson, Rich Cotter. I've started to work with Tony Maria Beta. For Dave Johnson, I edit the videos and the audio that for him that go up on BuzzFeed and YouTube. I've done some flyers with Tony. Rich Cotter. Every time I do anything, I send him an email that says, "Hey, I've done something," so he can put it on his really big list of everything. And so I'm just kind of a jack of all trades. If it needs to be done, I figure it out. That's all I can say about me. For app help, the first step in getting help with the app is to make sure you're running the correct app. So if you haven't already and you had the old app on your phone, delete the app and go back into the Play Store or Apple Store and get the new app. And then if you're still having problems, contact me so that we can, or customer service, so that we can help you with whatever the problem is. We have a group on Facebook that is for all things events. So if you have an upcoming event or you're looking to see what events we have, being a member of this group is pretty important. I have a link here. If you don't have enough time to grab it, you can. This will be on YouTube later and you'll be able to grab it. Okay, Dave, this is your part.
Okay, this is a handy little thing as you get involved in the business. Fundamentally, what we're doing every day, ideally, is adding new people to our list and reaching out and contacting them with tools. And this works. This is how I've built my business, is just talking to people and asking them to take a look. And on the right, I've actually saved this and I share it with other people. And this is fundamentally, I believe you should start with the people you already know. Fundamentally, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And I heard that back in the 1970s when I first got into being this and straight commission sales, and discovered that it's essentially people do business with people that they like. You've got to really hand up on people if you already know them and they like you and trust you. Social media, a lot of these other things are wonderful, but a lot of what it is developing relationships first. I'm not just jumping in and spamming people. It's building relationships, building friendships and trust and all of that sort of thing, and really being interested. And so, wow, if you already know somebody and they like you, then reach out. And fundamentally, I think one of the big things is people like to be of help. they also love to give their opinions. And so this is built into that. And so when I reach out to a friend, I'll make sure that's a good time. And so I'll say, hey, Bill or Mary or whoever, did I catch you at a good time? Make sure they're not preoccupied. And then I'll just I'd say, hey, Mary, I need your help. Will you do me a personal favor? I don't even just say favor, I say personal favor. It just adds to it. And invariably, they'll say, well, sure, what do you need? And then I just say, well, the reason I'm reaching out to you is I know you're already interested in being healthy. Also, you're a smart person. Those are compliments right there. And then I just say, I just finished watching a short video by a biochemist, and I think he's onto a real scientific breakthrough. But I want to know what you think. If I send you a link to this, will you watch it and let me know what you think? What I'd like to do is send this to you. It takes about 7 minutes. I think you'll find it interesting, but can I call you tomorrow and just let me know what you think? If you do that over and over and over again, that's powerful. Well, people say, what did you just say? And so this is actually saved in a Avini folder on my cell phone. And so I could just send that and it's already put together. And wow, it works. How about that? Some other things I've got, if you look at my Avini Health on the left, that folder has 48 different things that I use. And as an example, on this right here, my real common Avini links, sure, I could go into avinihealth.com and look this up and get the PDF, but wow, if I'm out and about, I open up my phone, go to my folder, and I could just copy that link right there and send them the folder on the white paper, the original clinical trial. If I scroll down, there's other things that I'll use again and again. And so I think that's just a really handy thing. So if you have a smartphone, look for notes or some type of thing where you can store things like links and scripts and things like that, and create an Avini folder that you can go to. So I think that is a big tip. And actually, thank you, Thane Shively, because that's where I first got this from. So, wow, big thing right there. Huge shortcut, time saver. You know right where things are. You're not looking around for something to share. So that's a tip for that slide.
Okay, so Android and Apple phones, tablets have note apps, and you can organize by folders. So it may be something you have to find on your phone, but they should be on your phone already. Okay, the back office. I can help with any questions on the back office, but today I think Chris is here to do the back office information.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. So we were going to have me make a couple of reports and go through some of the things that can be done. Camera's off. There we go. Some of the things that can be done as far as the report center. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. That out of the way. All right. So the report center, I think, is very much, it really does help when you're trying to find out where people are, what they need at this point. And because this is probably going to go up on YouTube, I can't use any of the regular reports. So these quick reports are really, really helpful, but they do have people's names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, and stuff like that. If you put that up on YouTube, they flag it because it's a bunch of information that people can get for nefarious purposes. But if you are just getting started with this, the quick reports really are helpful. So just this distributors that have less than 100 personal volume, as soon as the auto ships are done for the month, go look at this report, and it's everybody in your downline that has less than 100. And I'll show you in just a little bit how you can sort those in different ways. But you can see if someone, is at 55 points or 85 points or something like that, and they just need a little bit of volume, and you can see where they might be missing out on a check just because of a lack of volume there. And that's really helpful towards the latter half of the month. You can start going through and putting a few people in there. And as that changes the reports, it pushes people up, and then you can go further and further and start getting more and more people activated that way. Tracking your own customers to see which ones have ordered yet this month. Same thing on that, my customers and customers auto ship status. So it's all in one spot. But if you want to start making a report that's different or is looking for different volume, different data,
Just to go back to customers, one of the things I really I'm excited, and probably all of us, if we're just looking at our widget right on the front as soon as we open up, they think, oh my goodness, I got a new customer. who is that? Well, going to your lists and look up customer, that has it all right there, and you can just click it and it opens up and there they are, and you can reach out and thank them and all those good things. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. So this is what it looks like when you're creating a new report, and usually just name it. So one of the things we've been looking at is maybe how to host a meeting in a distant city or state or something like that. And so you can search for and find people that live in the state that you want to host the meeting in, so that it gives the best chance for getting the most people. So we pick, say, like California, and then go down into the filters. This is where most of the trouble start. People don't know what they're doing. It's easy to make a report that doesn't make sense because you'll have two filters that contradict, and then they'll filter out everybody and no one shows up in your report. So the first thing you want to do is change this enroller tree to binary tree. And essentially that goes from just the people you've sponsored to everybody. So when people have been spilled in from above, it'll include those people. And then you can filter by ID or by first name. So if you know somebody's first name but not their last name, or last name but not their first name, you can look for all of the Daves in your business, or all of the people with the last name Johnson in your business. And so those are filters you could use. If people have entered a company name, like if you just know someone's extension but you don't know who they are, you can find them in your downline that way. And the same thing with the sponsor name and all of those different things. If you just have their phone number, you can find them in your downline. In this case, we're going to filter by state. And so you just go to location, click state, and is. So you, on this one, you can change is not. So you can find everybody who's not in California if you wanted to. Open that up, and it's already has this by default. If you unclick this, it just closes it. So go to the state you want it to be, and then come back up and take that one off. There's a whole bunch of other filters. If you want to be more specific, you can even put in the zip code. So you can just narrow it down. California is a big state. Some people would be driving multiple hours to get places, but you can narrow it down that way. And there's all of these other different filters that you can use. So everybody who has an auto ship date on the 5th or something like that. All of those different kinds of things. But for now, that's all we're going to have in that one. And then in the columns, it defaults to these all the time. For this one, because we don't want to have any identifying information, we're not going to put the names, but you would leave the names at least on there for your filter. So you can find out who is. And I like to put in these ones current rank and highest rank, because sometimes people will be, they won't have an auto ship going, but they have a big organization and they may qualify as a silver, a gold, or a sapphire, but they don't put their order in until the 20th. And so if you look and it just shows they're a distributor right now, not unqualified, then you might not realize that they actually have an organization. So put those in there, and you can also filter by those. And you can put in, say, zip code, and let's put in their organizational volume and the personally enrolled and active customers and distributors. So if we have those for our filters, so there's not going to be any names here, so it won't be super useful. Let's see, is this the right one? Okay. Yeah. So right now it's the beginning of the month, so you can see there's a lot of zeros, but those are going to start filling in. But you can sort by these columns. So we can sort by the zip code. Wow, somebody put the wrong zip code in there. Personally enrolled distributors. Wow, somebody has 116. That's a really active person. Okay, we've got good customers. So you can just kind of go through and sort by the ranks. It puts all the silvers together. And so you can see there's quite a few people in there. And this will kind of fill, there's 638 people, so it'll take a little bit to get in there. So that's how you can go through. And then normally, again, you would have the name and contact information there. And so you can see who's where at what time to invite your people. And if you were doing a qualifying report, you can look at the organizational volume and see where people are. So anyway, is there anything else you want me to do with that report, or make a different kind of report?
that's very useful right there. One of the things I think that you have a good strategy is you've got almost gold, almost sapphire, things like that. That is a pretty
Yeah.
neat idea. That's the title of your list. So, and you can just keep that there all the time. And so, yeah, there you go. So close to sapphire. And so you click that, and I suppose that would have names and all that when you did
Yeah,
that. But
that'll pop up a bunch of names, numbers
yeah,
right
what
away.
would
So
be
we don't
fun
want
if you open that, which is one of your permanent things, you can see people reach out and say, hey, you're almost sapphire. This is what you need to do, which is one of the most useful things there is look at somebody's volume and you can look at the widget and see where they are and what they need to do. Like it might be, wow, you just need one more customer and that
Mhm.
will take you up to this level right here. Or let's say they're a silver executive, but they've got some good things happening. But to move from silver to gold, you have to be a full trinary company, a business. And so maybe they'll want to sponsor one more person or something like that. And it's fun to look at your list and just go out and just be very productive in being able to help those people.
The very first month of Avini back in May, a year ago, May, that's exactly what we did. I made that So Close Sapphire report. That was one of the first ones. And the first person on the top of the list that was the closest was Alan Sandra Thornton. And I called him. It was 2 days before the end of the month. And I think they were qualified as silvers. And all they needed was an active customer and an active distributor to roll them over. And they made sapphire that first month. And that's what got me excited about it, is because it was one phone call, tripled their check and added more people. And then it also helped the people above them. And it just made this cascade effect in the last 2 days of the month from one phone call.
Wow. Sounds good. Well, this would be something to, when it gets on YouTube, is go back and watch that again and again. Watch that again. Spot right here.
There's a question. Did you make close to sapphire by points?
So, well, I can kind of show you how I would make it. So just make a fake one. So we can to the filters. All right. So I would filter by, and I usually make a couple of them that have overlapping data. And so I would put, like, say for the sapphires, I put the highest rank is, and I would include everybody who was silver executive up through gold executive. And so anybody who'd ever had any of those as their highest rank would be on the list. And then I would go in and put their organizational volume was greater than, and then I'd put in, say, 3,000. And then go for personally enrolled distributors is greater than 2. And I'd just do things that were not quite sapphire qualification. So they would have personally enrolled customers that are greater than 1, say. And then that done. And then I do the same thing with the columns. I'd go in and I would leave these normally, but I'll take them out and we'll see if we can get a filter that works. And so I'm going to show the legs so I can see what they need for which leg to start looking in with their active distributors and customers, weak leg volume. And let's see if we get a report that works. Oh, I got to name it. There's an error. So I have a conflict in there, so I can go in and edit it. Filters, probably in here. See if that works. So sometimes you just have to fiddle with them until it makes one that works. No, it doesn't like it. Now it's mad at me. But anyway, that's all you would do, is you'd go through and you'd fiddle with it until none of the filters have a conflict. But now my computer's kind of stuck, so it's thinking. So I do recommend. But I'll stop there and then you can go with the rest of it while my computer's thinking.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do you remember when you're doing your reports, you do want to have names, phone numbers, emails, so that you can contact the people that you're looking up. Otherwise, like, you can't do anything with the report because you can't tell who's who or what's what. I don't want to butcher the name. When Powers, can you say the name again, Dave?
Oh, Udana Power.
Yes. When she was doing her PowerPoint, or not PowerPoint, her lesson with the cards, she mentioned that Rick Cotter had a Trello that he was using. I believe he may have adjusted it from what I sent him. This is one of them. This is the shown one. I have a similar one that is just a little bit different. The shown one also helps you with goal setting. So you can use the QR codes to get a copy of those templates. But each of these cards have like the name. It asks you what videos you sent, that kind of thing, so that you can keep going as you move them from follow up to client or distributor. You have all that information with that one person. It stays with them.
As you build your business, you're talking to a few people. And if you're just writing them on a piece of paper or something, you really want to manage that. That's really important. And every successful person has something as far as customer relations management, CRM, or something where you can track stuff. And a lot of us like paper, like you, Donna. She's got those cards. You can look that up. A lot of people have moved into computers. They just love all of that right there. It's fun. Some of the basic things I do is if I have a fairly good prospect, I'll just put them into my phone with my people that are my contacts, and then I'll put prospect or several things like that. And so if I go to my phone contacts, which is also in my computer, I could just do a quick thing like prospect and just go through that and tickle on down through. But so much of it is just notes on every individual person, where they're at in the process, because we've sponsored 2 people this week, but it wasn't just, we reached out and called them and they says, oh, wow, this is great. Sign me up. It's basically filling this pipeline of people that you need to reach out to them, have them take a look, follow up again. What we found is in sales in general, you probably are touching somebody 5, 6, 7 times before they actually act on it. And it's fun, but most people don't. And that's why most people don't succeed. So you got to follow up.
Thank you. Okay. So social media tips. I help more than one person to start their social media, hopefully empires soon. I edit video and audio for Dave Johnson and others. So I know a little bit about social media because I have to research it for all the people I'm working with. So first, network marketing is about people. You need to be sure you're having genuine conversations. You're not just calling somebody and the first words out of your mouth are, well, I have this thing I want to sell you. Because most people are going, if they can't block you, they're going to ignore you for a little bit. So have genuine conversations, actually want to know how they are doing, what they've been up to. And if they say they're having a problem with something, there's an opening for doing more. But you want to make sure that you're having genuine conversations, that you're being you, and you're not just shoving your product at people. So for social media and for life, you want to set goals. You should write down at least one goal for the different parts of your life. So your personal goals, your business goals, your money goals, and do them for a year out, 5 years out, and 10 years out, and then step back from it and try to break it down to what do I need to do this year for my 1-year goal to be completed, and break it down so you have to do every day for that goal to actually be achieved. And then you do the same with the 5 and 10 year. What do you need to know in 10 years that you should start working on now? So social media tips, being consistent is important. If you're only sometimes putting something on any feed, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, if you're just doing it every once in a while when you feel like it, you're not going to grow very much, if at all. You want to set up a schedule where you're going and uploading something to your socials at least once a week. most of the time. Like if you're doing Facebook or Instagram, you probably want to do that at least 2 or 3 times a week. That's at the minimum. The higher, the more you do, the better off you'll be, kind of, when it comes to social media. You also need to have a target market when you're going for social media. This isn't saying you're plucking people off and you're ticking off numbers, but you want to be able to say who you want to help, how you want to help them with and without your product. You could say that you want to help people who are 80 have a more fulfilling retirement by helping them with their health and wellness goals. And then go at that. Kind of don't recommend that age group because I don't know that many 80-year-olds that are on Facebook or anywhere else. But that's kind of what you need to figure out. Who are you servicing? Where are they going to be? So if you're talking about the youngest generations, you're probably going to be on TikTok and things like that. More my age is probably Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, that kind of thing to reach. You want to know who you're reaching and how. Again, you're not shoving your products down people's faces. You want to have genuine conversations with people, and you want to bring value to that person with or without your product until it's time to talk about your product. Did I forget anything, Dave?
Oh, I think just like LinkedIn as an example, if you go in, you can do searches and look for, as an example, nurses. And nurses are up close and personal with people as far as their health. I think they're very open to natural and alternative things. And so many of them are already involved in some type of network marketing. And so you can look for that. Obviously, one of the filters you'd want to do on nurses would be people that are in the North American area. So that would take it real down. So you're not looking at a nurse that's over in Germany or something like that. So you can look at people that are looking for business, entrepreneurs, all sorts of different things, and get conversations going. And I like what you say, Nikki, is we could say always be selling. Well, that will run real thin. People get a really quick feel of who you are. And if you're really trying to add value, and say maybe 1 out of 5 of your posts have anything to do with you or your specific product or offering, all the rest are just thinking, wow, what have I discovered that this group would be interested in? And so that's a lot of fun.
Okay. LinkedIn is the next page. Okay. We are going to look at LinkedIn real quick. So this is what LinkedIn looks like. You can do searches here. If you have a big enough circle yourself. So Dave Johnson obviously has a lot of people. He has 500 plus connections. So he can do a search within LinkedIn and come up with people without a problem. If you're just starting out, they have this thing. They've renamed it Recruiter Lite, apparently. And if you get a free month of this, then you're able to start off growing your network. You can do searches, you can filter things so that they're at locations. So again, you'd want to make sure you're just doing it for the like North American thing. So if I searched here, okay, see all these people have nurse in their experience or education. And where is, yes, but where?
Anyway, lots of.
Yeah, you have all these things. Somehow I can't find the one for North America.
But you'll never run out of people. There's millions of people out there, and it's all connecting. Which I like, again, is there's this idea that 6 degrees, where the average person might know a couple of hundred people, but if you can get referrals, and every business loves referrals, then you move out. And so I'm still mostly, my success has been just organically talking to people and then learning to get their people, those names. And so, wow, if you could get into the 2nd and 3rd degree, it's, for intents and purposes, you've got an infinite resource just millions of people that
I smell-
we'll always have plenty of people to talk to. Yeah, probably not the Ethiopian Nurses Association.
Yeah, I didn't get like that. But yeah, these people are in New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Yeah, you can just put it in here. They have changed this a little bit. So if you're asking me for help with it, I can help. It'll just take me a minute to look at it and figure out where they moved everything.
Sounds good.
And I have appointments available for tech appointments. If you are struggling with some of the tech that is attached to Avini, you can set an appointment on my Calendly to meet with me. My contact information, I have an contact card at dot.cards / Nikki 831. This will allow you to have all my contact information once you open that up, including my Calendly links.
Cool. Well, thank you, Nikki. And let's go out and see lots of people and make this year our very best year ever. Chris, thank you. Have you got any final comments to say?
Thanks for having us on. Get in the back office and play with it a little bit. There's a lot of stuff back there that really can help. And I think as you get more comfortable with it, you'll be able to teach your people and it'll be such a big, scary thing with the tech.
Sounds good. Okay, let's go do this. Thanks, everybody.